Welcome to my studio. I'm Eliane Paulson, psychologist and expressive art therapist, and I love to share the joy of the creative process with you. We've looked at creativity as being an energy, a pulsation, where anything can be created out of nothing. And we've looked at creative blocks and found that it's our own judgmental perspective that's a real killjoy, and that we have found tools to move beyond that and connect to a much more curious and an experimenting way of being and doing. Now we are ready to move into creativity. So today I'll talk about movement, why and how.
All creativity starts with a movement. Whether it's if you get up from your chair to go to your desk and write poetry, you take the pen in hand, or if you paint, you pick up the paintbrush and you use your whole arm, you assemble things. Everything starts with movement. We have been created by movement. A sperm entering, swimming, being embraced by an ovum, and then there were cell division and further growth and movement, and the heartbeat in utero. Probably one of our biggest courageous acts of movement is taking our first breath full of air. So movement is all part of the creative process. But for a long time and for many generations, we've seen the body as only important because it carries our head around, our brain, our thinking mind. And we have inherited DNA that tried to survive for generations. So we've got a very strong fight or flight or freeze instinct that we kind of forget these days. So our challenge is really to befriend the whole of our body and the whole of our brain. It's due to integrative psychologists' work like Bessel van der Kolk, Peter Levine and David Berceli, and I'll put their links to their work in the comments below, but that we've really understood that the body is much more than just the vessel for our thinking. The body carries its own intelligence. Our cells actually carries a lot of our trauma and also the memory of our resilience. So we need to tap into our body wisdom again. We've come out of generations and cultural practices where it was good to disconnect from the body, not feel pain or suffering, and be quiet and conform. Children should be quiet and not heard and seen, that kind of idea. So to now befriend our body, it will need to do that with a lot of curiosity and care, because in our bodies is also a rigidity built in, a stuckness, a frozenness, and it is that we would like to loosen up so that we can fully feel alive and get moving. I've had the privilege of really exploring bodywork the past 10 years through practices like Biodanza and 5 rhythms and postural integration and even Qigong. So from that practices, I've built a very short little warm-up exercise that I would love to share with you today. So I'll first talk you through the practice and then I will invite you to do it. You're welcome to sit and try it in your chair. You know that sometimes driving in the car, if there's a really nice song on the radio, it's like your whole essence just starts to sing. But for this exercise, I would invite you to find your feet. In this exercise, I'm going to invite you to feel and move every part of your body, starting with your feet and ending at the top of your head and your fingertips. So we'll start with, let's say, the feet and the toes and the heels, and slowly see what every body part can and want to do, where the limits are, what feels comfortable, how is it to stretch into that bit of your body. So what we're doing now is we're talking through it, so it's a top-down approach. I'm thinking about how I'm going to move that part. And when we do it, I would encourage you to follow a bottom-up approach where you really listen to the sensations coming from your body and registering in your mind. So after we've run through the whole body and seen where the edges is, how it feels to move all that part, I am going to invite you to really shake it all out. Shake, 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 and go as fast as you can. And when you get tired, you're going to slow down and just keep on shaking all the bits. In integrative psychology, we talk about health as being flexible and movable, and therefore our lymph and our fascia needs to really be subtle and move, and this shaking helps us a lot with that. Lastly, the last phase, we can squeeze everything back together again. It's for you to connect to all the body parts and really give it a hard or a soft or a gentle squeeze so that you literally put yourself back together again and have that feedback of your own hands, just feeling your own limits. And afterwards, it's always important to check in with how am I reacting to this exercise? How is this for me? And before I give you a short demonstration of how my loosening up practice looks like, I want to make a note about the music. We really borrow the impetus of a piece of music for movement. So you are welcome to experiment with lots of different kinds of music. Slow music, fast music, rhythmic music, gentle music, classical, rock, whatever you prefer. So listen to the music and get to know what will work for you in this moment. Let's enjoy it together. Let's warm up. We're going to start with our feet and just feel into your toes.
Bien.
Into the sides of your feet, your heels,
Non, je ne sais pas.
your ankles,
Je le pas le femme.
your knees, thighs,
Que pas tendre.
and then the hips. Nice big circles. See how big you can draw the circle on the floor, or a figure of 8.
Bien.
And you can go slow, fast, explore what feels good.
Que pas tendre.
Then the lower back, and the sides of your back, and the top part of your back. And your shoulders. And then add your elbows. See where your elbows
Ah, ça marche maintenant?
can move.
Bien.
Your wrists
Non,
and every finger.
non, je ne sais pas. Je ne pas le femme.
And then the whole arm up to the shoulder.
Bon, non, je peux pas.
Then we're doing the head and the face and the neck.
Que pas tendre. Danse. Et rien
Pulling
de
some
pire.
faces.
Faire comme notre soirée.
Then for part 2, we're going to shake it out. Fast if you have lots of energy, and when you get tired, Going slower.
Bien.
Shake, 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 shake. This can go on for a whole song, actually, until you really feel stamping those feet is enough. Breathing. Shake, 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 shake. Then we put everything back together again, starting with the feet. Everywhere. And then check in and feel, where do you feel the most alive? How does your body feel right now? How does your mind feel? It was fun being together today, and I wish I was a fly on the wall. But you did this all for yourself, and no one was watching. So try it again. And know this time really no one is watching, and you're doing it for your own sensations. Thanks for jumping in and letting the creativity flow. Let's look next time at working with a specific intention.
Je ne sais pas, je n'aime pas les hommes, j'aime les femmes. Danse, y a rien de pire.